Good morning. So welcome everyone today to Neptune Software and Neptune Software's webinar on transforming digital journeys across the public sector. Today we are focused on HR and specifically reducing time to shortlist and time to hire. We will be giving you a background on how we can support and accomplish those objectives with Neptune software. Before we get into that, though, we are going to take you through the agenda and do some brief introductions on who we are, who Neptune is, and then we'll get into the specific demo. At the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A. So any questions anyone has, we'll be happy to answer them. Anything that we are unable to answer because we run out of time, we will of course respond via email, and we will publish those answers to everyone so everyone has the opportunity to see the answers to those questions. Without further ado, let's do some quick introductions on who we are. So my name is Samuel Dovey. I've been in contact over the last 4 to 6 weeks reaching out about our webinar. I've been involved in the public sector for around 20 years, working across general public sector with some specialisation in defence, central government, and also health, particularly around application development, observability, and I've been working as part of supporting e-referral service, Spine, and more recently we've been supporting the HR use case that we're going to talk about today. And over to my colleague, Hendrik, to introduce yourself, please, Hendrik.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Hendrik Hase. I'm a principal solution consultant at Neptune Software for a bit more than 6 years now. And my background is a software developer, so I am around the IT for something around between 10 and 15 years now. Started as a software developer in the logistics software company, and moved on to the more sales part of the IT. So I'm happy to be the part of Neptune to explain and help with very technical and detailed demos to explain our use cases and our platform to customers, and for example in the webinar like this.
Fantastic. Thanks, Hendrik. Excellent. So what I'd like to do now is take the opportunity to provide a bit of background on who Neptune Software is. So you may have heard of us, you may not have. Let's just give you some background on where we're from and how we were developed and why we were developed, and our presence now from a market perspective. So Neptune Software was founded in 2011 in Oslo in Norway, and it was created from a number of people that were historically in SAP. And essentially we were created as a application development platform in the no-code, low-code and pro-code space to help organizations that use SAP. And we know that around 3/4 of the world use an SAP platform somewhere. So we were created to help develop applications that could integrate into SAP ERP systems and various other platforms to improve user experience, employee experience, mobility, and efficiency. And we have then, over the last sort of 5 to 10 years, evolved and developed further, where we've got lots of use cases that aren't specific to SAP. An example of that is HR, what we're talking about today, where, for the NHS, for example, we will integrate with track ESR and NHS jobs to help reduce time to shortlist, which we'll elaborate on a little bit further throughout the presentation. So a bit more about who we are now and who we're engaged with. So as you can see, we've got over 800 enterprise customers globally. We have global presence across all markets, so the Americas, North and South America, also EMEA and Asia Pacific. We have over 100 certified partners, that's growing at a rate of knots, and 4 million plus active users. So the platform is heavily utilized, and we'll come to the model of that utilization shortly. We've got a large and developing developer community, and we have global presence, as I mentioned, and you can see from on the right there, we have Walmart, we have NHS, the 8th biggest employer globally. We've got Vodafone, Johnson and Johnson, Volvo, lots of different organisations that we work with across lots of different use cases, solving problems, improving efficiency, improving employee and citizen and customer experience, which is what we're all about. We're trying to enhance user experience, citizen experience, and improve efficiency through our no-code, low-code, and pro-code application development platform. Hendrik, next slide, please. So a little bit about Neptune features then, and the type of things that we do. And I've sort of provided a bit of context on that already. But we essentially want to create enterprise grade digital experience via our applications that mirrors the corporate landscape that you already have in place. And I mentioned earlier, for those of you that are on the call in HR in the NHS, we have that holistic integration. Now that could be natively into SAP, or it could be into ESR and track and NHS jobs in terms of our application that helps with shortlisting. Our foundation platform has complementing modules enabling you to comprehensively address hybrid IT landscapes. So what does that mean? So we can integrate on-prem, in the cloud. We've got multiple different ways that we can engage to support you. Mobility is very important as well. So we support organisations that might have field workforce management, and we have applications that can work in the field to support organisations with efficiency. Referenced before, as part of our organisation, we have no code, low code, and pro code capability. And what does that mean? So I'm a non-technical person. So if I wanted to create an organisation and have a business, I could utilise Naya and which is our AI tooling as part of our application development platform to create a no-code, so a simple application that could be used for me, for my customers, or for internal processes. And then the lower code applications are very similar, and pro code might be where your development team is utilizing our platform. Everything we do is trying to drive rapid application development, efficiency, in a cost-effective manner. And one thing about our solution is if you were to work with us to have an application to help you reduce time to shortlisting, and you had 20 users use that application, you pay a user-based cost. So it's for 20 people. If you then want to create applications across the rest of your workforce management, there's no additional cost because you've already paid for that user license. And that's a real key differentiator for us. And that's just awareness of our commercial model. We're not here today to talk about commercials. We're here today to talk about our capability in reducing time to shortlist, which we're about to get into now. Next slide, please. So a quick snapshot of digital solutions. So we've mentioned already employee portals, workforce management. So um, rostering, recruitment and onboarding, staff surveys. So this can sit along um, platforms like SAP, ServiceNow, Workday, and it can integrate and provide a very nice um, integration experience for citizens and for users, enhancing employee experience and candidate experience. From a hospital perspective, we have applications that can improve clinical experience for doctors and for nurses, that can improve efficiency, which gives more time back to patient-facing care. From a financial management perspective, we also support organisations that are trying to track expenditure across multiple different streams. So perhaps you could create an application that tracks all of the different streams and consolidates that expenditure. So you can look at expenditure versus budget to maintain control of expenditure, and then supply chain and supplier portals, which is more warehousing and logistics. However, just on that, and we're not going to talk about this in depth today, we do work with an NHS trust that we help them monitor equipment that comes out of a warehouse and goes into a hospital, and it with a handheld scanner and an application essentially looks at what's been booked on the van, what's been collected, what's been taken, what's been booked back in. Does it match up? So it's just improving efficiency, reducing human error. Next slide, please, Hendrik. So we work with lots of market leaders across lots of different industries. Now, today we're going to talk specifically about public sector. So we are working with most of the NATO defence forces globally. We're also working with lots of central government organisations and helping them improve citizen experience and reduce cost. We're working with EMEA-based and UK-based healthcare NHS organisations. We're working with higher education, universities, and we're working across lots of different sectors that you can see there: retail, oil and gas, manufacturing, and business services. So we have a plethora of organisations that we're supporting for lots of different use cases. Some of them might be SAP Pacific, some of them are around integration, improving efficiency. Next slide, please, Andrew. So one key thing about organisations is perception. And as you can see there, 97% recommendation rate. We've got lots of awards from um, users that rate our application platform, from organisations that talk about return on investment, development, momentum. Uh, you know, there's referenceability from Gartner, which is obviously very important, and we've also got the awards for being an excellent place to work as well. So, you know, one really important thing to me and why I'm at Neptune, I'm sure for Hendrik too, is that it's a great organisation that's integrity led. Our objective is to support organisations, improve efficiency, reduce cost, and improve candidate experience in this case, and of course improve um, retention and various other things in relation to that. And just before we pass over to Hendrik, who's going to delve down specifically into today's agenda around the HR use case and reducing time to shortlist, I'll just give you a quick example of the importance of that for Neptune. So we're working with lots of organisations in public sector, and that's across UK and EMEA. And the key thing that we're seeing at the moment is a very high amount of applications for open headcount roles. And because of the number of actual applications, it's reducing the capacity of the HR and recruitment teams and the hiring managers to actually have the time to shortlist. So the byproduct of that is that they reduce the amount of times they advertise for open headcount because they just can't manage the process. For a particular hospital we're working with, it reduces line managers' patient-facing time, and it really impacts HR, which is very, very difficult to manage. It then impacts candidate experience because they can't get back to all of the candidates because the volume of candidates per application is very high. And the knock-on effect of that is obviously reputational. When they do employ people, the time to shortlist and time to hire takes a long time. So the agency cost for part-time people is high because they can't recruit enough people to fill their open headcount because they don't have the ability to advertise as much because the shortlisting is not sustainable to manage. So the outcome of that is operational inefficiency in the hospital, which eventually impacts patient care. So what we offer through our solution really does make a difference to reduce that time to shortlist using AI tooling. And the benefit of that is that all candidates have a good experience, reputation is positive, and if roles can't be filled by a particular candidate because they're not right, they're recommended to look for other roles. Now, I'm going to pass over to Hendrik now, who's going to talk you through the next steps in relation to this and about the digital journeys for people services. Thank you. Hendrik, over to you.
Thanks, Sam. So yeah, we heard great topics of our platform and great benefits of our platform. Now let's dive into the digital journey for people services, and especially in combination with the Neptune DXP AI capabilities. So we introduced our AI assistant or our AI agents called Naya last year for developers, and with this year we provide an agentic approach, so AI agents for end user applications, right? And how this can look like in this special HR case I'm going to show you now. But first, let's talk a little bit about the impact of a great employee experience. Sam already mentioned most of the important topics here, but yeah, what does this mean? So a single portal for all people services is something that's very beneficial. So there's a one place to go to get self-services for the employees, but also for managers. So providing that with AI fueled services is a big topic, and is something that everyone and every company wants to achieve today. I think I will not go on any point here with the time in mind, but one thing that I strongly believe is very important is harnessing the talents of all our people, and with that especially we mean management and HR people that stick into, or that have to stick to or sometimes paper-based processes, but in general, very time-consuming processes. So, and with that time that is needed to fulfill the process, they cannot focus on the important things that especially HR people have to do in their daily job, and that's focus on the employees, for example, on the professional development of employees, right, or seeking new talents from across the public sector or other markets, and basically find the right people for the company and help the employees to be and to evolve as the perfect employees. So how does a recruitment and onboarding cycle or how a day in the life of an HR person look like? Usually in this recruiting process, this is how we see it, right? I am sure every company has slightly different a map of the steps. But yeah, this is our idea, and we also showing here where our platform especially can help with our AI fueled tooling. Right? For example, here, just one example, we will see it in the demo as well. A candidate screening, right, to find the right candidates based on specific criteria that are being set in the platform. Provide feedback for talents that have been rejected, for example. I mean, probably everyone knows that getting rejected is bad, but getting no feedback why you got rejected is even worse, because then you cannot work on yourself and you don't know exactly why you don't fit or what else you have been doing wrong. Yeah, so this is kind of the idea of the flow that we think is what HR people are going through. And now I would like to show you how this actually looks like, or how we created an application to go through this and help the people, the employees, to manage it. So let me just quickly switch my screen here. Where is it? There we go. Sorry for that. It's always switching between screens. So what you see here is what I mentioned before, an HR portal, right? Now in the view of my demo persona, I am a line manager at the moment in a new company. So I also recently joined the company, and this is basically my daily dashboard, where I see what I need to do and what's coming up next. And especially here with the big red bar, my team is nearing capacity. So basically everyone is booked, which is good. The bad thing is that I just got out of a conversation with one of my team members, and she told me that she's going to resign. So this 10% buffer that I have in my team allocation, is too less. So I need to do something, but I'm new in the company. I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to consult my AI agent. So this is Naya for Business that we introduced to be an assistant or agent for employees, right? Not developers. So I can now just tell this agent what what my problem is. Sarah Chen has resigned. What do I do? So Naya for Business is on the one hand, of course, a AI chatbot, right? That gives you information that comes from multiple sources. Can be used. We can utilize the known LLMs like OpenAI or the Google AI or whatever is needed. So it's up to our customers which ones they want to use. But it's also linked to internal processes and internal data. So here, for example, it finds Sarah Chen as an employee with the title that she has, product marketing manager, and now it shows me, or Naya shows me how to move on. I can view our resignation policy as a PDF. This will open in a new tab, or I can start the recruitment flow because I need to find a replacement for Sarah Chen, especially for this product marketing manager. So I'll do that. What it does now is it creates or generates a job description for that specific role, right? It knows because of the data sources where that position is located in London, the name of it, what parts, and by the job description of Sarah Chen, it can also create a description to be hosted on the on the services wherever we want to host this job description, right? So I can go through this. I can read if it's okay, if I agree with everything that's described here with the skills and everything, and then I can make changes if I want to, or I can say, okay, let's proceed. So I do that. I'm fine with what it has been created. So, and here on the right side, by the way, you can see our agent, and it describes exactly what it's doing next. And I can always type a message, ask more questions, or iterate on what the agent has created. So the agent has moved on in the flow of the lever process, and it also analyzed the current market for new probably hired for new hires that or new people that we can hire. Sorry. So what it does, it has checked the market, what people would earn in salary, and also checked our internal salary data, what we usually compensate such a position, and it gives us a estimation of what the new position or how much money we can provide for the new position. Right, basic pay, 65 pounds, bonus 8,000, and the sign-on bonus with 5,000. So this again, I can change if I want to, but again, I'm happy with this, and this is all based on internal data and internal process. So this whole creation of the job description with the compensation package reduces the time a lot, because usually it has to be approved by a manager. You send it out, 2 weeks later you get it back, approved or not approved. But since Naya uses the internal company policies, you can approve it by yourself, because it doesn't cross this policies. So I approve it, and in the next step now tells me exactly what it does. It is looking for skilled candidates, and of course we have already a lot of candidates that have assigned for this job, and those assignments I can also see in my portal, because in my HR portal, because it is all role based, and I can see everything that is needed to be shown to me, well, to go to do my job, right? So let's go to the pool of people that have assigned, or that have what's the word? Anyway, so here we see product marketing manager. That is our job offer, and I want to see the people that have that applied for the job. That's the word. So, and here we have already a lot of people that have been evaluated by the AI. So you see here a 92% match, 91% match, 86. How does this matches? Where does it come from? It comes from the criteria, of course, that we have created. So it compares the CV of the people with the job description, and everything that has 70% or above will be will be shortlisted, and everything below 70% is not listed at the time. So I can focus on the people that do fit well for my for the job description. So here we have 94% match. Let's have a look at. I think her name is Jenny. So Jenny has 6 out of 6 for required skills for the role and 6 out of 6 similar responsibilities from her previous role. So she's a great fit. Do I trust AI? Well, of course, but we can always check the CV and the assignment letter for ourselves to just see that everything that she does fit well. So if we have done it, or if we didn't, just depends on ourselves. We can schedule an interview, right? And the interview or this invite to the interview will be an email, and that takes again a lot of time, people to write proper emails, because she has 94% fit to our role. So that means we want her to get to sign up with us. So we want to send a proper email invite, and this is what the AI can also do, right? It generates a great email invite that we can send to Jenny. If we send it, we can always make changes again, right? Nothing is written in stone what Naya does, but if we send this email, it doesn't send it directly to the recipient, to Jenny, but it sends it to our tool or portal that tracks all the information and gets the context, so that we have everything in the records. So okay, we have sent it out. This is great. Let's see what comes out in the interview. But also, let's have a look at some of the rejected or the lower ranked, let's say the lower ranked people, right? Why don't they match? And why Maria, for example, why did she applied for a job where she obviously doesn't match so much? So we can see, okay, 2 out of 6. We can check her CV, and we see that she's a product marketer, right? We are looking for a manager role. She's not having that much experience so far, and that's basically the reason why we don't. That's why we reject her. And if you reject, okay, this should not have happened. All right, so here we go. Just took the refresh took a while. So here's the rejection letter now for Maria. And the good thing here is because Naya is connected with all our systems, it also knows other job roles or other job profiles that we are looking people for. And luckily for Maria, we are looking for a marketeer, project marketeer. And in this email, or Naya knows that, and in the email it's already integrated. So we will send her a rejection for the manager role, but in that rejection letter we tell her, hey, why don't you assign or for the other role, that's where you are a great fit, right? And then we can send it out and help her getting the perfect fit for her. So that's it for the small demo. I think it gives you a good idea of where AI together with Neptune, the Naya for Business can help in this specific um, use case. So yeah, let's go back to our PowerPoint and have some questions. Oh, I need to
Thanks,
go.
Hendrik.
You're welcome.
Thank
I
you.
actually
Appreciate that. So no, I
need
think
to.
it's really good to see that actually. So if you think about the challenges that people are having, we all see it on LinkedIn when we are doing posts ourselves, and we see colleagues that might move into new roles, and we've had that water cooler moment conversation with them, or a phone call, and there were 200 people on an application, and for the candidate applying, they um, don't see the back end pain and challenges that's happening where the recruitment teams are having to sift through hundreds of applications, and it's not sustainable, which means that candidates are not getting told that they're being longlisted and not actually being progressed. They're being rejected. Candidates that could be suitable for other jobs are not being approached and saying, well, your criteria doesn't match this role, but it would be good for another role. So that's loss of candidate. That's both impacting candidate experience. And even for successful candidates, the experience might take a very long time. The hiring manager might be saturated with doing stuff that has an operational impact to the organisation that they're in. Obviously, if it's frontline military or hospital, that's a huge impact, and particularly for some of our large government entities as well, and even local government and universities, it impacts student and citizen experience. So if we can help reduce time to hire by using AI application tooling to reduce shortlist, to long list, to advise the people that are being rejected the reasons why, to position people that are good enough to do other roles, or not necessarily good enough but have matching criteria to do other roles. It's all very, very positive, and it places the good people in that match the criteria, and that's why we're defining them as good for that particular role, to be able to move forward into that role. And then that helps with reputation. It helps with having your organisation having a high level of permanent employee. That reduces agency costs. That then improves efficiency of the organisation, which then improves citizen experience. So all really positive stuff. Now, just on that, I have noticed some questions have come in, and one of them appears to have come in from a hospital. Um, so NHS in the UK, what examples can you provide of the impact of reducing time to shortlist? Okay, well, I've actually got a really good live example there. So if you think into that, if you've got 100, 200 people applying for a role, a medical role, and what's the knock-on impact there? So firstly, there's going to be immense pressure on the HR teams that are already stretched. So the recruitment teams are already stretched because we know in healthcare there's a high turnover of staff because of the nature of the roles and the pressure. And the working hours, etc. So that's going to put lots of pressure on those recruitment teams. So if we can help reduce that pressure, they can be more proactive. They can manage their day-to-day tasks better. They can be more strategic in their planning on when they're going to do recruitment cycles. And that's going to improve candidate experience. That's going to increase the opportunity to have more full-time uh, uh, employees, which is really, really important. That's going to reduce agency costs. That's not to mention clinical managers have to shortlist in out of hours. That has a massive impact on them and their productivity, their efficiency, their energy, patient facing experience. So, by improving efficiency and reducing time to shortlist, better candidate experience, better time for recruitment teams, better time for hiring managers, giving them time back for critical patient facing time, overall time to hire is improved. You can have more hiring cycles because it's a more an efficient process. So more open headcount roles are filled. So there's less agency spend for temporary cover. That's a cost reduction. Um, Better retention, team cohesion, better experience in the AE type areas, which is obviously very important for emergencies to be have good team cohesion. So overall, better patient care and hospital efficiency, which is obviously very, very important. Now, we do have some other questions. We will answer those via email as well and distribute the answers to you. But I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of Hendrik and I to thank you for attending our webinar today. I hope you found that useful. We will email out a follow-up further to the webinar. Should you wish to delve deeper for your particular use case around HR, then please do reach out to us and we will support you with your specific requirements. And once again, thank you for joining. From
Thank
Hendrik and
you.
I, have a good afternoon. Take care. Cheers.
Bye bye.